Way in the back there, sir.
In the back.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I'll speak up so I can be heard. We've seen a lot of stolen elections lately in Iran and Zimbabwe and other places. What can you tell us from 1988 that you did correctly, that you did right in Chile, that could be used as a lesson for opposition movements in other countries?
That's a good question, because we have the problem that within our ranks in 1987, preparing for the 1988, there were a lot of people who thought we were making a huge mistake. There would never be a level playing field. Pinochet wouldn't allow it, and you know, this was a huge mistake. Some people sincerely thought we were making a huge mistake. So I remember that we began talking to our friends abroad, so that precisely we posed this question: how can we improve our chances? And I recall that the NDI, the National Democratic Institute, invited some Chileans, including me, to go to the Philippines to observe the first democratic elections under Corazon Aquino, the first congressional elections. And the idea was to go and look at the experience of NAMFRA, which had been very important in getting out the vote and controlling the vote to impede fraud, and that had frustrated the snap election that led finally to the fall of Marcos in the Philippines. So our interest was to go and find out how the system works. And I went to the Philippines, and I ended up in Tuguegarao, the North China Sea, and seeing, first of all, that you have to motivate people, because we went to places where supposedly there were guerrillas, and people were, even without electricity, counting votes, and with observers, and with a climate of civic engagement that was fundamental. I said, that's, first of all, that we have to have. People that lose fear to confront Pinochet, that go out and control the vote. Second, the first lesson was control the vote at the source. If you don't control the source, it doesn't matter whether you have 1,000 international observers, or you have people in the capital, in some of the regional provinces. It doesn't matter, because they will stuff your ballots, you know, before you begin aggregating. So you have to control at the source and have a parallel count. And we did precisely that. The idea was then we have to have poll watchers, people that there say, yes, I am for the no, will go to every ballot table, will identify as such, will look at and give us the exact count once they open the ballot boxes that could not be tampered on, because they were going to be from the beginning. And then we would have people in bicycles taking over to a borough, from the borough to the province, from the province to the region, and by phone we would give the results and have a quick count system, which was thanks to friends in the US that helped us in the Democratic Party. So I think that was basically it. We controlled the vote at the source. We had thousands and thousands of poll watchers. I was engaged, I was the vice president of the PPD, engaged solely in training of poll watcher monitors, who themselves went to train poll watchers. And I remember a story one time that I went to graduate about 30 poll watcher monitors in one of the boroughs of Santiago, and I gave the very great news that in a place called Isla Mocha, really isolated community where we needed only 4 people, we already had the 4 poll watchers. So I think that was absolutely the key. If you don't control the vote at the source, you're done. In the case of Chile, there was an aggregate, and that is, Pinochet made a mistake. He thought he was going to win so easily that he allowed 15 minutes of television propaganda for the no and 15 for the yes. And of course, he did it really late at night, 11:30 at night, thinking that nobody's going to stay up to watch, political propaganda. But after you've been about 15 years of nothing but propaganda of the dictatorship on all of television, people were looking forward to staying up at night and seeing this advertising for the no. And we had the best people, the creative minds in Chile that did the advertisement for commercial products with the no. And they put their talent for free, and with the advice again of seasoned political campaigners in the US who said to us, concentrate on the future, because if you go towards the past and talk too much about the violation of human rights, you have to talk about that, but don't exaggerate it. You're going to divide your public. You have to talk about the future. And besides the no, needless to say, has a very negative essence to it. You have to sell a no is rather difficult. You have to do it in a happy way. And they did these beautiful commercials that made Pinochet to be enraged about what they were doing with the Yes campaign. So I think that was also a factor, but that you will not be able to have it in any case like the ones that you have mentioned. But you will have, if you have the organization, you have the courage, and you have the training to control the vote at the source. And that will make it very difficult to perpetrate fraud.
Thank you.
Yes.
Do you feel that young people today understand some of the lessons of history, those who didn't live through the rise of Pinochet, and do you have hopes and fears for them in terms of them claiming and embracing democracy, or possibly things backsliding again?
No, I don't think backsliding is a threat, and I'm very satisfied about what Chile has done, frankly, because I think what we've done in terms of human rights, it's been something that not many countries have done. We have put the head of the secret police in jail. He's serving several life sentences. There are many former generals, admirals, and colonels involved in repression that have been judged, condemned, and are serving sentences. There's been, the Truth and Reconciliation Commission that led to a historical process of reparation, both moral and material, to the families of the victims. There was, as Steve was saying, for the first Truth Commission into torture that made that more than 33,000 people came out to say, yes, I've been tortured.